Hi everyone. So moving on from last week when we were looking at how to open from the centre of the body and we were looking particularly at the arms, I thought I'd just give you a little taster of what that means if we're thinking about opening the legs. So for example, if I start with lifting one leg, there's a lot to be said about that movement as well. I'll do that in another little snippet. But for the moment, again, we were talking about gathering to the centre rather than pushing through that leg, pushing through the heel, even if I can't straighten the leg, this idea of pushing with the extremity. Rather than doing that, allow the weight of your leg to drop back to your centre. So you're getting a sense of your leg beginning in the same way as last week we looked at the arms beginning more or less from that place between the shoulder blades. You might want to think of your leg beginning sort of just behind your tummy button, for example. So think about the weight of your leg dropping back to that place, gathering back to that place, and then from that place begin to explore opening the leg. So you might open to the side, you might open back towards your face, you might open across your body, but just play with moving your leg around, but avoiding the temptation to push through the heel, to lead. That was the way that I was explaining it last week. Avoid wanting to lead with your extremity and rather give the extremity back, gather it back to your centre, and then begin to move through your hip, through your knee, through your ankle, from that centre. And you can play with that to your heart's desire. You can play with both legs, you can play with both arms, but whatever you're doing, so whichever way you feel like moving or opening, make sure you're not doing it from your extremities, but that the extremities are gathering back to your centre, and it's from your centre that you're beginning to explore movement. Remember the image of the palm of your hand, rather than pushing with the fingertips and stretching the body. It's this feeling of gathering back and then opening from the centre. And as you can see, I can open just as wide as if I was stretching, but I've got this sense of, there is a scientific name for it, it's called pandiculation. And it's this idea of, rather than a mindless stretch from the tips of your fingers, the tips of your toes, it's more like a contracting back towards your centre and an opening from there. So continue to play, because, once you begin to get a sense of these different ways of moving, you're going to see little by little how that is going to have a profound effect on your yoga practice, and that each of your postures is going to benefit from these little snippets, these little elements that I'm doing my best to share with you. Tune in next week for another one. I shall see you then. Bye.